Hi, I don't know why, but the only rule that was respected in Lindgren was the no food or drinks allowed rule that was posted around the room. An example of how the tutoring center was run can be seen by the way that the school shooting threat was dealt with. Students kept knocking on the door after we locked it, so we decided to let people in if someone inside recognized them. Some people called their friends and told them to come up to the third floor of LA5 if they were looking for a place to hide, and some people stood out as lookouts if someone wanted to use the restroom. Some people also made very inappropriate mass shooting jokes that really upset others. Unfortunately, when everyone is breaking the rules, speaking up about something can be seen as causing trouble. I've seen undergrad students who came in for help, grad students who came in to study, and tutors who worked there bring and use recreational drugs almost every day while I was working there. It was mostly tobacco and cannabis products, but one time someone brought in magic mushrooms and was offering people microdoses. I tried some later in the school library and they were real. I'm saying this because I know of another tutor who gets away with what I think is a lot worse. I've heard him make fun of someone for not wanting to report something because they were underage drinking, and I really want the stuff that I'm reporting to be investigated further. I know I will probably get in some trouble for this, but I think it's worth it. This isn't just a problem with the tutoring center but extends to the department as a whole. Female students openly talk about which professors give them sympathy points for being cute and do a lot of bragging/complaining about the difference in experience that there is between guys and girls in the math department. I've met very intelligent girls who were smart and ambitious enough to take grad classes as undergrads who said they really liked math but expressed no interest in the grad program here because, according to them, it's too much of a guy space, and success in this department seems to not be based so much on a person's hard work or talent but rather on their ability to kiss up to the professors, something which is referred to by the students as giving the suck. I don't really care about any disciplinary action that I have to face for doing this because I think it's really fucked up that no one seems to care about this shit. Sorry, not sorry, Mark.
Hello, Martin. This is Elisa Hamada and Rochelle Tejada with Equity and Diversity at Long Beach State. We're calling you regarding recent communications sent to CSULB employees and student workers. It's our office that you'll be working with moving forward. So can you please give us a call back at 562-985-8256. Again, 562-985-8256 during the 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. business hours. Chris Lau will find a time for us to set a meeting, and the employees as well as the students are redirecting all communications to our office. It's our office that you will be working with. So again, please call us at 562-985-8256 during the 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. business hours to set up a phone appointment. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The Department of Equity and Diversity called me from a private number and left this voicemail. It's weird hearing them say that I'll be working with their office moving forward because they literally told me last week that they didn't have to look into this because I'm not currently enrolled in any classes or working any hours. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm not going to talk to them until I get some sort of explanation over what happened. The information that I would have given them has already been forwarded to them, so if they didn't care to listen to me, they can go on to continue this investigation without me. I'm open to talking to others about this because I think that this is a very big problem and I really want to shine a light on it. Sorry for the trouble. I don't know what else to do, Mark.
Caution, this email was sent from an external source.
Hi Mark. Apologies, but I am not familiar with the details of this topic. Would you be able to fill me in?
Hi. The two emails that I CC'd the paper were follow-ups to this mass email which I sent to every professor in the CSULB math department. I pasted the email below. Here's my Instagram, phone number, and Discord if you would like to. Hi, I've been trying to report behavior which gave the math tutoring center in LA5 a very bad reputation among undergrad female students before COVID for over 2 weeks, but no one seems to care. I'm really upset that I've actually gotten backlash from people who work as tutors or TAs and are CC'd in this email who think that I am being too mean to their friend for speaking up about this. I've also been mocked by people who I have reported for the lack of action that has been taken on this issue. I feel like I'm drowning in a sea of lies as everyone seems to be more interested in protecting their friends and keeping themselves out of trouble. I was told by the Department of Diversity and Equity that this case was closed without any investigation being conducted and not to contact any more department chairs or faculty about this, so I'm doing this because I really want the case to be reopened. Sorry if this is annoying. I've posted a previous report of mine below. Sorry, Mark. Hi, I sent an email to the HR department reporting a former co-worker of mine which I CC'd my supervisor at work. My supervisor CC'd the department chair and replied saying, "Mark, thank you for letting us know about these concerns. In accordance with university policy, we have forwarded your report to the Office of Equity and Diversity, and they will likely contact you directly to follow up. I encourage you to let me know about any future issues." I replied, "Thanks." The complaints I heard were mostly people venting about being put in awkward or cringy situations. They would say that they didn't feel comfortable being in the tutoring center alone but really liked the help they got when they came in groups or with a friend. Lindgren had a very mixed reputation. A lot of students really liked it as a place to study and get help with their homework. People thought it was ironic when the No Guitars email got sent out last year because it was like the fun part of the tutoring center got cancelled but the problematic part wasn't even addressed. Predator also has a habit of saying the N-word a lot, with a hard R, but I didn't hear any complaints about that. There weren't that many black students who visited the tutoring center but on the few occasions that one did, Predator would do something weird, like take a picture of them and show it to his friends, saying things like someone let a monkey in. A week later I was contacted by the Office of Equity and Diversity and was told that the case is closed and not to send any more emails CCing any faculty or department chairs about this. I'm really upset that my complaints didn't seem to be taken seriously. It's like the Department of Equity and Diversity didn't even pretend to care. I met a girl in the SPS room of the physics building who I'll refer to as Person A. Person A seemed like a nice person when I met her, but I later found out that Person A is someone who Predator talks about a lot because according to him she tried to ruin his life because she's a terrible person. I don't know what happened between Predator and A, but his friends say that despite everything that he says to take the blame away from himself, it is partially his fault. I reached out to A after I reported Predator, and told her that I was open to hearing her side of things, since I know what it's like now for Predator to manipulate others to make himself look good by tearing you down, and here are some things that she said.
"Hey, I don't mind talking about, I'm not sure exactly who it is. Does the name start with a D? So confused lol. He literally victim blamed me and had the audacity to get mad when I chose to stay away. I hadn't thought about this in a long time. It's kinda funny to know he still thinks about me. I'm genuinely curious what the insults were. TBH, I genuinely want to know and won't be upset with you if you told me."
I told her that Predator would call her fat, ugly, and bad, over and over again. Predator also keeps saying that he thinks that Person A deserves to get raped but she's too ugly for him to do it, but I didn't tell her that. I don't think of myself as a feminist, but I think that the way that Predator expresses his thoughts and feelings about girls who he doesn't get along with is wrong. She also said,
BTW, he has stalked others in the past, to the point of him entering their car without their consent. The person filed it to the physics department and the school police, but they did nothing about it. From his previous behavior he seems hostile and potentially hazardous. I'm very serious. Prior to this he watched Lolita porn and hentai in the SPS club room. He was also reported for this and for living in the SPS. I've heard of other sketchy shit on the math department and stayed away. TBH, I'm glad I'm also working on getting my chem degree.
More than one of Predator's friends have told me that they think that he is the primary reason for Lindgren tutoring having the sketchy reputation that it has.
He tried turning the physics department against me. I don't feel bad for him not being socially cognitive. It's an acquired skill, but he's too focused on warping the narrative to make himself without blame. The school system sucks.
Predator gets away with a lot at CSULB. I sent her. He gets away with things by hiding, but his own friends say he's socially retarded and the biggest hypocrite they've met. I don't understand how he can think it's okay to act that way. And she replied,
Wow, I'm not surprised. I've confronted him before on this and he says you're just too sensitive. Or goes Mal, TBH. I think it's toxic masculinity and the fact that CSULB has done nothing, so he feels like he can get away with it. He throws his own pity parties, like, he used to complain about having a horrible life and not have a home. Turns out someone I know.
There's another girl who I'll refer to as person B. I mostly interact with B outside of school, but Predator spent a year making up stories about me stalking B and asking me strange questions like, do you think someone else wants to fuck her, or did she ever explain to you why she isn't into you? I've seen Predator follow B into the bathroom and then laugh it off when I told him that he shouldn't do that. Predator keeps describing person B as just a cute girl, who's naive, doesn't see the bad in people, and is too nice to say no. I've had to put up with more than a year of Predator making up fantasies about me that had no basis in reality. I don't even know everything that he's said about me, but it really sucks to have someone who describes his female friends as cute girls who are too nice to say no, and the girls who he doesn't get along with as bitches, trolls, or hideous girls who deserve rape. Spread a bunch of rumors about you. I used to work for CSULB just like you. Whoever investigated this. How would you feel if one of your coworkers did these things to you and then the university didn't seem to care? There's another girl who I'll refer to as person C. C was a student who I tutored in the tutoring center that Predator and I worked at. Predator has literally pulled me aside while I was tutoring C to whisper gossip in my ear about her and another tutor who works there. I did my best to ignore this, but he literally took pictures of me talking to C and sent them to the other tutor telling him that she gave me her number. Predator later went out of his way to befriend C, and his friends made jokes about how Predator keeps making himself the gay best friend of all the pretty girls in the math department. Sometime later C told me that Predator made comments about her appearance that made her uncomfortable but wasn't sure if she should speak up about it because she didn't want to cause any trouble, and he's really sweet and doesn't seem to mean any harm. C has also said that Predator is the only grad student she feels comfortable around because she doesn't really know anyone else when she visits the tutoring center. I don't think that C knows that Predator has been taking pictures of her weeks before he introduced himself to her. I wasn't sure what to do. I've seen some of his friends try to talk to him and tell him things like, maybe you should stop saying the N-word, with a hard R, every 5 minutes, to which Predator responds by calling them fake and saying things like, I'd rather have friends who like me for who I am. Predator's personality is like if the worst parts of the internet became a person. He says that he wants a career in education, but if I had a younger sister or daughter, I wouldn't want them going anywhere near him. There's another girl who I'll refer to as person D. I've only talked with D twice. She was a student who came into the tutoring center who I later saw again in the library. Even though Predator only saw me interact with D for a few minutes, he went on to talk about her for weeks and would tell me things like, you've been really desperate to talk to vagina lately. When I saw D in the library, I asked her what she thought about the tutoring center and she said it seemed like a chill place. About Predator, she said that he's really helpful but weird, so she prefers the other stats tutor. Here's the original email I sent. Hi, I am writing to let you know that Predator, who was my classmate and co-worker, has crossed my boundaries many times during my time working at Lindgren Tutoring Center and has made my experience at Long Beach very unpleasant and uncomfortable. I worked with Predator at the on-campus math tutoring center in the LA5 building during the fall 2019 and spring 2020 semesters, and he kept making up stories and spreading rumors about me and the female students who he would see me tutor. He has also taken pictures of me at work while I was helping student without the consent or awareness of me or the students. I know that I am not the only person who has had a bad experience in the tutoring center before COVID, because there were multiple girls who complained to me and others who I knew about the sketchy environment in the tutoring center that made it hard for them to come in and ask for help sometimes. I don't want to label Predator a stalker because I don't think that he is a bad person, but he seems to have very unhealthy mental issues which I think he should get help for. Predator is really popular in the math department, which makes it hard to speak up when he crosses the line. I'm gonna be honest and say that I wasn't the best worker either, because I was late a lot and showed up high sometimes, but I always did my best to treat the people who visited the tutoring center with respect. Predator does contribute a lot to the tutoring center as being the best stats tutor, but he also responds with a very rude attitude when someone asks him what he thinks is a stupid question. There have been many students and even a lecturer who left and stopped coming to the tutoring center because of Predator's inconsiderate behavior, and I feel bad about not speaking up about this sooner. Here is my phone number. It would be the best way to reach me. I would be happy to answer whatever questions you have about this. Mark, I was trying to be nice by saying that Predator has unhealthy mental issues, but I'm pretty sure that I can gather evidence for stuff that he's done that could get him expelled from school.
A few moments later.
Your account has been locked. Contact your support person to unlock it, then try again.